Okay, let's dive into the different phases of your cycle. And we're going to start with the menstrual phase. This is the first sort of day 1 to day 7, and it can be anywhere between 3 and 7 days, the length of this cycle. A typical cycle is anywhere between 28 and 35 days. It's not the same for everybody, and that's why you want to start tracking your cycle to see how long yours is and how long your phases are, and then tune into how you feel, because every body is different, but we are going to have some similarities based on the hormonal shifts that happen to all of us, okay? So the menstrual phase is when your period starts. So the first day of your bleed is the beginning, that signifies the beginning of the menstrual phase, and it's triggered by a drop in progesterone and estrogen. And when it comes to being a runner who is training, who wants to increase performance, who wants to increase fitness, this low hormone phase, this unique phase in your cycle, is when you are most like a man. Your body is actually primed for performance during the menstrual phase. And it's really interesting because you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel some of the residual things from PMS, like some cramping and sore, achy hips. You might still be having some cravings. You might feel like really just low and just like quiet time is what you want. It might be a low energy phase as your body's slowing down to shed that lining. But understand that that low hormone phase is actually a good time to be pushing workouts. So you want to push them carefully and really focus on good form. But it's interesting because if you're not a runner, and if you don't have performance goals, then this is a phase that you're going to want to just do gentle yoga, go for walks, journal, be intuitive, go for a massage, those sorts of things. But when you have muscle building goals and performance goals, this is an optimal time for you to push. And it's really interesting because it actually makes sense when you think about what your body is doing. So before your period comes, right, your hormones are high. They are prepping you to have a baby. So all of that energy is going towards preparing your body to make a baby. That's what we're kind of here for, is to make babies, and our hormones dictate that. But when those hormones drop because the egg has not been implanted, your body goes, whoa, I'm not making a baby. I have now got energy and time to do other things. And so it's really interesting that this is the time that you can push because those hormones are low and your body is not focused on building a baby. It has energy stores to go other places, like building muscle. Super interesting. So if you have a race that's supposed to land during this period of your period, don't worry. Like, this is when you are able to push through that. So you're going to recover faster. You might start out having less energy, but you actually are going to be able to push harder during this phase. You're going to feel less pain. Training is actually going to feel easier once you get going in this low hormone phase. So really interesting stuff. In the handout that I gave you, I've listed some of the physical symptoms you might have, what you can expect with your energy, and just how you're feeling overall. I also included some foods that are going to nourish you to support this part of your cycle. And again, this is the part of the cycle where you might feel tired and you might feel like you want to stay in bed, but understanding that when those hormones are low and your body is not trying to make a baby anymore, and that it now has the ability to use energy stores and to do other things like build muscle and build fitness, this is a part of your cycle where if you can push yourself, you should push yourself, because you're going to get great bang for your buck if you push through some of these, low energy periods, low energy feelings. And you just want to be careful during this. You want to have a nice balance of push and then a real solid focus on recovery as well, and definitely dialing in that nutrition to support your training and to support that muscle building. And you want to just really dial in good form and good quality, because there's other hormones pumping that might put you in a bit more risk of injury because of some relaxin in your joints. So be careful during this period when you're pushing sort of against how your body feels, but understand that you can have greater gains during this period. So just interesting stuff to know. I want you to track your cycle and notice how you feel. I feel energetic during this period. I feel ready to push during this period. And I know that about my body. As soon as my period hits, I just feel this like release in my body, and I just feel like, okay, let's go. Like, let's push workouts. It's really interesting. I don't feel tired during this time. I don't feel any of the other things. So you need to really tune into your body. And I think when you dial in your expectations, you understand what's happening in this cycle, and you dial in your nutrition to match this cycle, this part of your cycle, you're going to really notice the energy that you do have and how great your workouts do feel during this period, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. We're going to talk about the next phase, which is the follicular phase. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask over in the Facebook group. I'm always over there.